Hi everyone, welcome back to the Strive Effect, where we help keep top performers happy at work. Today, I want to dive into Stephen Covey's iconic 7 Habits of Highly Effective People with a little bit of twist, because I know when it comes to the workplace, sometimes an email is way better than a meeting. So let's get started. The first habit he talks about is being proactive. Oh my gosh, the first time I read this, I was like, am I proactive or am I a reactive person? So, for example, you're at work and someone's complaining about the cost of gas, the economy, and all these other things than the reasons behind why he or she didn't get the job done. Proactive people focus on what they can actually control. So, for example, in a meeting or within the workplace, they ask, how can I improve the process? Or what can I do? Or what are the tools that I need to succeed? Proactive people don't wait for motivation, they actually create it. The second habit he talks about is beginning with the end in mind. So imagine you're at your own funeral. I know it's a bit morbid, and someone was reading your eulogy. Would you want them to say, hey, Janet was incredible at color coding and she was amazing at making spreadsheets? That's good, but you would want them to say maybe value laden things like she was a great friend, she was a great partner, she was someone who really cared about what truly mattered in life. Very different vibes. And here's the disconnect. We say our friends and our families and our well being is important, but then we spend hours of the day just scrolling and just checking emails. I know I was told once upon a time by someone that was really important to me about my scrolling habits. And of course, it was not easy to hear, but it really made me think when I'm in meetings, when I'm talking to other people, what is the message that I'm giving? Am I giving that they matter by spending the time, or am I multitasking? The third tip he talks about is put first things first. Okay, this one is all about priorities. Imagine you and I are both authors and we have audiences about 100 people. But instead of writing our own story, I spend all day criticizing your work and like really mocking you. Look at this sentence. What's the font that this person used? That's what happens when we waste time on gossip, drama, or comparisons. Winners, they actually focus on what matters, the strategy, the health, the relationships, not organizing endless folders. I really like the fourth tip. He talks about think win-win. Here's the truth. For me to win, you don't have to lose. I'm extremely competitive. I always want to win, but at what cost? In the workplace, that means sharing ideas, not hoarding them. So, for example, if I'm creating content and I want subscribers, it's not about guilt tripping people and saying, oh my gosh, I worked so hard on this. You need to help me grow. No, it's asking the question to myself, does this offer value to you? Does it help someone else grow? And that's a win-win mentality. The fifth habit he talks about is seek first to understand, not just to be heard. And this one for me, it's really a pet peeve because I remember when I was new in, my job and my role, and people would ask me, how am I doing? How was my weekend? I was so happy. And I would actually share. And the actions just did not align. There's so many times that, supervisors have said, I want to be there for you. But then when it comes to actually being there, they're truly not there. Just work and life gets in the way. So it's super important when you are around other people, listen, really listen, and build the trust. It means saying, tell me more instead of, yeah, but might be a little bit challenging or it might take some time out of your day. But when you understand people, they're more likely to hear you out and less likely to tune you out. Tip number 6, he talks about synergy. This is where teamwork actually makes the dream work, where it's like 1 + 1 actually equals 3. It's magic. Someone can take your idea and bring it to the next level. And it's not that you're going to work with everyone effortlessly, but the right people can be game changers in your life. So don't give up. keep looking for your people to support you, because I'm telling you, it can definitely elevate you. The seventh habit he mentions is sharpen your saw. It's actually a habit that a lot of people tend to forget. So imagine a man trying to cut down a tree. He's struggling. You see him struggling, and a neighbor says, "Hey, why don't you just sharpen your saw?" He yells back and he says, "I don't have time. I'm cutting." Of course. You'd be like, of course it'd save time, but we actually do this with ourselves. Sometimes we skip lunch, we ignore sleep, we don't reach out, we don't read, we don't self improve because we're just so busy. But you are the tool. If you're dull, everything else just takes twice as long. So sharpen up physically, mentally, and emotionally. Even 15 minutes a day to walk, to read, to unplug, to do things that truly make a difference.